Hello, welcome to WHIT Radio. I'm Tamara, your host for today. We are remembering tomorrow, which is the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. And today I have Aisha, Jennifer, Mr. P, Aaron, and Kiana. Today we're starting off... Oh, Angel. Today we're starting off with Aisha. What do you have to say?
Well, there was a curse supposedly that they say on the Kennedys, and it started off with Rosemary Kennedy, who was born on September 13th, 1918, and she was born with mild form of retardation, and they say that that she was like really violent and she would run away from home a lot, and she was actually the only child who died of natural death, and they say it's something about the way she was acting somehow cursed the whole family.
Really?
Yeah, and I heard there was many deaths after her, but she was the only one who died naturally.
And Jennifer, what do you have for today?
I'm gonna talk about something creepy.
Really?
Okay, yeah.
Why gotta be creepy for? Why can't it be good?
Creepy?
Okay. This is similarities between Lincoln and Kennedy's assassination. Both presidents were elected to the House of Representatives in 46. Both presidents were elected to the presidency in 60. Lincoln defeated incumbent Vice President John C. Breckinridge for the presidency in 1960. Kennedy defeated incumbent Vice President Richard M. Nixon for the president in 1960. Both their preceders left office in their 70s and retired to Pennsylvania. James Buchanan, whom Lincoln succeeded, retired to Lancaster Township. Dwight D. Eisenhower, whom Kennedy succeeded, retired to Gettysburg. Both their vice presidents and successors were Southern Democrats named Andrew Johnson and Lyndon Johnson, who were born in Illinois. Both presidents were concerned with the problems of black Americans and made their views strongly between. In 1963, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862, which became law in 1863. In 1963, Kennedy presented his reports to Congress on civil rights, and the same year was a famous March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Both presidents were shot in the head. They were shot on a Friday in the presence of their wives, and they were both accompanied with their couple. The male companion of the other couple was wounded by the assassin. Both presidents had the son die during their presidency. Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater. Kennedy was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald in a Lincoln automobile made by Ford. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy who told him not to go to the theater. Kennedy had a secretary named Evelyn Lincoln who warned him not to go to Dallas. Both presidents' last names have 7 letters. Both presidents have 5 syllables in their full name, which counts Kennedy's middle initial. There are 6 letters in each Johnson's first name. Both ran from a theater to a warehouse. Oswald ran from a warehouse to a theater. Both Johnsons were succeeded as president in 1969 by Republicans whose mothers were named Hannah.
The coincidence on that one, isn't it?
Well, we have a caller.
We have a caller.
Okay. Caller?
Hello, who are you?
Well,
Yes.
Who is
good
Hello.
morning or good afternoon, maybe.
Hello. What are you saying?
Good afternoon to you.
Oh, good
Good
afternoon to
afternoon.
you.
To our
I
What is
heard
your
you
question?
know about Kennedy,
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe. Well, I was just calling in to tell you that I actually knew someone who was there at the assassination of Kennedy.
Who?
Wait.
Who?
I actually have a good story on it. Well, not a story, but a brief little.
Really? So
Ooh.
tell us
Yeah.
about that.
Do you know
I would tell you his name, but he would rather not. No? Right next to me, but he's not going to speak, so. He says that he was actually in the fields when, as you may have seen in some of the films, there were fields where people were laying down. He was actually one of the people laying down actually up there, trying to come to the sniper fire. So there's a lot of screams. People are saying rant, chanting. You heard a few people saying chants, praying, things such as that. Pretty dramatic.
Yeah,
from what he heard. He heard
what exactly is your point? What's your point? What are you going here about?
I'm trying to tell you that he heard 3 shots, 3 sniper shots fired, not 2.
All right,
It was
so
3,
three. Okay, all right.
One,
There it is.
And, all right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
weird
Okay.
mystery
Well,
caller,
alright.
for your excuse. I mean, not excuses, but whoa.
What was that?
Don't
Well,
put it next to the
I
thing.
didn't.
Any of you have your last comments for today before our show is wrapped up?
Well, let me say this, that 50 years ago, November 23rd, I was one of the few people in this school, I guess, that was alive, or I was in school at the time, and it was a very big shock. They let us out of school. I remember racing home and telling my mother, who was at home, she's a home worker, or whatever you want to call her, and we turned on the TV, and that's all you could get on the TV. And eventually, for the next 3 days, that's all you could hear or get. But it really shook the nation.
Yeah.
It changed. It was a nation of idealism and hope, and everybody was hoping for new things and a new way of doing things, and that was dashed in a matter of seconds. So it just was unbelievable. He was the first young president that I remember. He was like 43. Most of the presidents I remember were like 70. You know, they were older, so he had a vigor to him. And it really was the end of a Camelot dream there. Camelot, is anybody familiar with Camelot? King Arthur's court.
Oh,
Camelot, magical.
Yeah.
It was a magical thing for a couple of years with him, and Jackie Kennedy was a fashion plate, and so.
Well, that's all for today for WHIT Radio. So tomorrow, as we remember John F. Kennedy, research more as your president, because it was a sad moment in our nation. So it's good to research more of the assassination, how he was. So thank you. This is WHIT Radio. I am Tamara, with Aisha, Mr. P, Jennifer, Angel, and Keanu.
Good night, America.
Okay, not that bad, huh? Not that bad.
That's right, you ride. The left newspapers by the wire.